Oh, it's warm today. Hey, no mai, haere mai. Thank you so much for joining me today, and welcome back. Welcome to the new year. So we're going to start today in lying on our backs, please. So come and lie all the way down. So knees pointing up, feet flat to the floor, arms just relaxed at your sides. So we wriggle, shuffle to get comfortable here. Maybe reposition your feet if needed. So we want to be able to relax the legs, just let the knees tent together. And just take a few long deep breaths to really settle yourself in and ground yourself. Just notice what you're holding, what muscles feel tense. Maybe it's the inner thighs, or maybe it's around your neck, or somewhere around your torso. Just let everything relax. Open your hands, spread your toes, relax fingers, and really let your head feel heavy. So it's completely resting into the floor. And that will relieve tension in the back of the neck as well. Unclench your jaw. As we become more relaxed, you might notice what you're still holding on to. And we'll just start with a very small movement, turning your head over to one side. And then over to the other side. Just a couple more times, once to each side. And then recenter, and we'll drop knees over to one side. Keep your feet on the floor, just let the knees fall across. And bringing knees over to the other side, resting down. Once more to each side, just drop the knees across. And then we'll bring knees up. Hold one knee in each hand, just gently gathering in. Circle your feet, give your toes a wriggle, create some movement around the ankles. Then bring one foot to the floor and keep holding the other knee with both hands and bring it in really close to your body. Maybe move from side to side if that feels good. Notice where the tension creeps into your body. So if you find that you often tense your neck or clench your jaw, or maybe scrunch up your face, just try to keep everything else relaxed. Okay, and then bringing your knee just around about to the midline of your body, just enough so that we're not lifting the hip off the ground. So we want to keep the pelvis level. So you might get a bit of a stretch around the outside of the hip here, depending on how tight you feel. May not need to be very far, or you might apply a bit of pressure with your hand to pull the knee across. But try to keep your hips nice and square, and again make sure that we're not tensing up around the shoulders or neck. And then bringing the knee out wide. Use your other hand to help keep your hips level. So again, make sure that you're not rocking over to one side. Maybe prop your elbow to the floor as you hold your knee out to the side. Again, relaxing the shoulders. A little softness around the chest. And then we'll grab hold of the outside of the foot if you can reach, keeping your knee out wide. And again with the back of the hips level to the floor. If you can't reach your foot, then just hold on to your shin. And then we'll straighten the leg and pass it to the opposite hand, again keeping the hips square. So if it's a super tight pose, you might have a bit of a knee bend here. Don't feel like you have to have it perfectly straight. Or if you're not feeling much, we want to be trying to feel a, it's not very good English, we want to try to access a stretch down the outside of the leg. So moving it as far across your body as you need to. You might even try flexing the foot to bring a more intense stretch to the pose. Just a couple more breaths. Okay, and then we'll pass the leg to same leg, same hand. And just extend it out to the side. Again, make sure you're not rolling off the hip. So back of the hips pressing into the floor. The leg might come out to a 45-degree angle. Let the other knee kind of flop open a little for a counterbalance. And we'll support the long leg in your hand. Okay, now bend both knees up to center, one hand on each knee, and just gently hug them in towards you. We'll do everything again on the other side. So bringing your foot to the floor, right foot down, left knee up if that's the same one that you, or different to what you did last time. So hugging knee in towards your body, maybe a bit of a wriggle if you like, just to get it in nice and close towards you. And then we'll circle the ankle, or just pedal up and down, whatever feels good. Just create some movement, and most importantly, create some attention. So bringing attention to your foot, which we don't often think about much in our daily lives. Spread toes, give them a wriggle. Then holding the knee with the opposite hand, move it just across to the midline or a bit further. As soon as you start to lift the back of your hip, try to press it back down again. And once you find that spot, we'll bring a bit of pressure into the hand to intensify the stretch down the outside of the hip. If you're tight in the groin area, that's fine too. It's going to be a little different for everyone, and probably different from one side to the other as well. Focusing attention on your breath. Try to hold your attention here. And then we'll pass the knee to the other hand. Let it fall out to the side, probably to that 45-degree angle or thereabouts. Prop your elbow to the floor so it's comfortable to hold the leg. Other hand might hold your hip in place so that we're not tipping to one side. And again, check where you're holding your tension and let go if it's not serving you. Now reaching up to your foot. If you can, hold the outside of your foot. If you can't quite get there, take the shin and bring the knee out wide. Draw it down so it's moving towards the floor.
level pelvis, shoulders relaxed, easy breaths. Okay, and then extending the leg, pass it across your body, holding with the opposite hand, maybe flexing the foot, or just have a play with repositioning the ankle. So choose your own intensity here. Knee could be bent more if you need to, or keep pushing the heel up towards the ceiling. And coming out to the side. So the other knee might come a bit wider to help balance. Hold your leg wherever it's comfortable. Check in with the tension in your body. And just breathe easy, focus your awareness with your breath. Okay, gathering your knees to your chest again, one hand on each knee, bit of movement here, so might be pedaling or making some circles or just kind of rocking, whatever feels good. Okay, and then we'll make our way up into a seated position, please. No need to rush. Crossed legs.
Hopefully a little easier after all that hip opening work that we just did. So hopefully we're not too tight here. One hand onto each knee or rest your wrists. Loop the shoulders a couple of times. Sitting up tall. So get a sense that your pelvis, ribs, collarbones, head, everything is nicely vertically aligned. So we're not falling back, we're not tipping forward. It's nice and tall, and then bring a little softness to your posture. So it's not all about the effort. Close your eyes if you want to. Think about the position of your head. So we're long through the back of the neck, but the jaw is just gently drawing back in towards the neck, towards the throat. Just a few breaths, really feel it in your body. Allowing your breath to move all the way down into your lower back, expanding the back ribs. Allow it to fill your belly and rise up to your chest. And feel the sides of your ribs expanding with each breath in, retreating with the out breath. Okay, now bring your hands together at your heart center. Then with your next breath, sweep your arms up high. Separate hands and pull your elbows down the sides of your body. And then reaching up high again. Hands together and come down your center. We'll do this 3 more times. Taking a breath in as we stretch up high. Separate hands, and with your out breath, just gently pull the elbows down, opening up across your chest. Breathing in to rise. And out, down center. 2 more times, just moving at the speed of your own breath. Rise, fill, release and drag down. Reach up high. Come down. And one more time. And return to your center. Pause for a moment. Now open arms out wide to your sides. Keep your hips exactly as they are. Turn from the middle of your spine. Open, and then bring one hand to your thigh, the other hand behind. Just gently keep turning, trying to keep the hips square. Turn from the middle spine, turn shoulders, and turn your head. Facing the front again. Open arms out wide. Turn to the other side. Float hands down. Continue to turn just a little bit further. Minimal effort here. Even turning your head. Facing the front. Let's do it one more time on each side. Take a deep breath in. Turn with the out breath. Keep breathing out as you turn that little bit further. And one more time. Floating open. Turn. Keep breathing out. Stay for another breath here. And facing front. At any point you can, well at this point you can cross your legs the other way if you want to, if you've always got that dominant leg in front. It's always good to even up. Hands either side of you. Breathe one arm high. Create a lot of length here. Then stretch over for a side bend. Let the other shoulder, the bottom shoulder, drop away from your ear. Keep your hips grounded. And think about being long on both sides of your body, so that we're not just collapsing in here. We want to stay nice and tall and curve across. Then floating the arm wide and come to the other side. So with your in-breath, we'll really lengthen up. With the out-breath, curve across without collapsing. And to the first side again, just one more time to each side. So breath in, and a breath out. Coming over to the other side. Okay, and release. Come onto your hands and knees, please. So spread your fingers. Open them out wide, especially that space between the thumb and the first finger. Plant your hands. Bring your shoulders forward so they're over your wrists so that we're not back here. We want to be nice and weighted heavily in the hands. Shoulder blades hugging into your back body. Make sure you don't drop your head. We're not jutting the chin forward, just like when we were seated. We're long through the back of the neck. We have that lovely vertical, well, horizontal now, alignment from the pelvis, the ribs, collarbones, they're wide, into the crown of the head. Then we'll test out our pose by tucking toes under, float the knees off the ground, and then hover them just above the ground as low as you can. All right, abs are strong here. Lower back is nice and long, so breathe space into your lower back. Keep your weight forward, keep powering into your fingers. We hold for one more breath. Then send your hips up high. Keep powering down into your hands. Send your tailbone up high with that same nice alignment from hips to ribs, wide collarbones into the crown of the head. Visualize that one long line. Knees can be as bent as they need to be, especially if you haven't done a down dog in a very long time. So you might find that your heels are quite high off the ground
And there's a generous knee bend. That's a good starting point. Much better than trying to get your heels low and rounding your back. Okay, so it's quite a big difference. Let's pedal it out. Lower one heel towards the ground at a time. Bending the other knee deeply, but trying to maintain our posture with that lovely long spine. Make the movement as big or small as you choose. Okay, now take a deep knee bend and press your chest towards your thighs. Come high up onto your toes so your heels are really high, and then shift your weight forward so your shoulders come over your wrists. Shift hips back and power forward. Hips back and high and power forward. And we'll do this one more time. Come back, shift forward, hold it right here. From your knees or toes, lower your weight down to the ground, hips land, feet flatten, shoulders roll back and lift your chest. Okay, now walk your hands in front of you. If you want to, you can have your hands off the ground or support yourself with your fingertips on the ground. Now try to tilt your tailbone down so there's a little lift in the abs and there's that space in the lower back that we want to breathe into. Then with either your hands on the floor or off, bring them out wide, turn your thumbs up, lift your chest a little more, then we'll pull the arms even further back. Hands by ribs, from your knees or toes, push up and back. Let's do that 2 more times. Okay, so deep knee bend, then power your way forward, lower down, feet flatten, shoulders roll back. Check your pelvic position, so tailbone lengthens down, belly lifts, arms forward. Send your arms out wide, then pull them back. Hands by ribs, push up and back, hips high to the ceiling. One more time, start with that deep knee bend, power forward, lower down, shoulders roll away from ears, arms reach forward, wide, back, hands by ribs, and push up and back. Okay, now walk your feet forward into a forward fold. Stepping your feet under your hips, soften the knees, so especially if this is a really tight pose for you, if your hamstrings have been really tight over the past few weeks, send your hips up high and drape your body down with your knees as bent as they need to be. So again, we don't want to have completely straight legs and then just curve through the spine. Instead, we're hinging forward from hips, and that's where we'll find as much of a knee bend as we need. Just hanging out here, maybe you're holding elbows, swaying from side to side. All right, now step. Let's all go left leg back, so we're all on the same side, into a lunge. Coming upright, hand to thigh for a bit of support. Okay, now sweep your arms up high, bend the back knee, belly in, tailbone lengthens down, still maintaining that nice posture. Then pull your elbows down your sides. Extending high, bring your hands together, thumbs to your heart space. Shift your weight forward, back leg lifts off, step down into a forward fold. Just release arms. Right leg back. Rise again. So hand to thigh if you need it, if you feel a little bit wobbly as you rise. Bend the back knee. So think about the position of your pelvis. Elbows drag down. Rising up. Hands come together, down center. Shift forward. Back leg lifts. Step into your forward fold. We'll do this one more time to each side. So where are we? Left leg back, sorry. Breathe arms up. With your out breath, dip the back knee, elbows pull down. Rise again, hands to center. Back leg lifts. Come into your fold. Right leg back. Just alternate each time. Coming up, dip low. Rising up. Hands to center, shift and lift off. To your forward fold. Okay. Left leg back, please. First bit again. Coming up to your lunge. Bend, elbows drag down. Rising up. Hands to center. Shift forward. This time hold it here. So back leg lifts. Pause. Stay right here. Now, deep bend the standing knee. Step the back foot down, spin the heel to the ground and turn your body side on. Make sure that the front knee isn't falling inwards. We want to pull the knee out wide. Drop down, so we're setting up for our warrior two. Breathe arms up high. And open out wide. Shoulders fall away from ears. Drop into your pose. Right arm sweeps up and over. So again, think about lengthening up both sides of your body so that we're not collapsing into one side. So visualize a lot of length from that back leg, curving all the way up and over to your fingertips. Stay low in your legs, coming over, forearm lightly to your thigh, other arm comes over. Long line from heel all the way up to fingertips. Try to be really light on this bottom arm. Okay, now hands come to center. Stay facing the side. Little step in and the back leg lifts. So we're dipping the right shoulder down and trying to stack the left shoulder on top. Float arms wide. Turn to face the ground. Fingertips to the floor, step into your forward fold. And just hang out, holding on to your elbows. I'm going to turn in the other direction so I stay facing you. So this time, right leg back into our lunge. Arms come high. Back knee down, elbows drag down your sides. Coming up, hands touch. Down center. Shift your weight forward, back leg lifts. Hold and focus your attention here. Stay a little longer. Keep your shoulders broad. Now take a long step back. Spin the back heel to the ground. Turn your body open to the side. Really plant both feet and then try to center your body so the weight is even in each leg. If you've got quite a short stance and your knee is all the way forward over that front foot, then take an extra step. So we're nice and wide here. Strong base. With your next in-breath, arms reach up high. And with the out-breath, float arms wide. Left arm reaches up and over. Create all that nice length in your body. Then coming over towards the left thigh. Just rest really lightly, so we're still keeping all the power throughout the rest of your pose without just leaning all of your weight on the leg. Hands come to center. Try to keep the left shoulder down, right shoulder high. Little step in, maybe 2, until you can lift off. So try to keep your body open to the side. Stack hips, stack shoulders. Then open arms wide, so we've got right arm high and left arm low. And turn to face the floor with your arms out wide. And step into your forward fold. Straighten your body down. Maybe sway a couple of times. We're going to do the same sequence one more time on each side. Okay, so we'll go left leg back. With your in breath, sweep arms high. With your out breath, drag arms down. Keep dipping that back knee low. Rising up. Hands come to center. Shift your weight forward. Drag the back knee up. Bend the standing knee, long step back, spin the heel down. So we want to ground that back heel with your next breath. In, reach up high. The out breath, come wide. With your in breath, right arm sweeps over. Stay for the out breath. Then we'll come towards the right leg. Breathing in to reach up. Breathing out to ground your pose. Hands come to center. Shift. Pop the back leg in a few times until you feel steady enough to lift it off. Reach one arm high, one arm low. Now with control, let's rotate to face the floor. Step into your forward fold. And one more round. Left leg goes back. Drag arms high. Come down. Rising up. Hands to center. Shift forward and lift off. Big step back. Spin the heel to the ground. Make sure that your feet are far enough apart. Turn to face the side, pulling the knee back. Breathe arms up and open. Next breath, left arm over. There we go. Towards the left thigh. Hands to your heart space. Bring the back foot in far enough that all the weight comes into your front leg. Lift off when you're ready. Wobbling is fine, it means that we're building stability. Open arms wide. Then turn to face the floor. And step into your fold. Hanging out here. You may like to sway from side to side. Okay, and then we'll scoot one leg under, come and take a seat, and extend one leg out long. Moving into a side bend, so hand comes to the top of your shin or inside, coming over. Getting length in the torso. Try to rotate the bottom ribs under. Let's bring our head to wherever the neck feels good. And then turn to face the long leg and float hands down either side. So if it's quite a tight pose, then you might keep your body quite upright, just leaning in towards it.
Just make sure that we're not putting any pressure in the lower back by pinching and reaching. We want to be tipping from hips. Okay, and then bring your hand behind your hip, push your hips off the ground, and rotate your top shoulder open. So we're turning, if we can, up towards the ceiling. Lower back down, stay in the same position, and just start to tip your way towards your long leg. Sitting up again, hand comes by your hip, and let's rise, same side again. And lower down, and switch to the other side. So tuck your foot in towards your thigh, or it could be lower down your leg towards your calf. Hand on your shin or inside the calf, come over for a side bend. See if we can rotate the rib cage, rotate shoulders. Breathe fully into your side ribs. And then we'll turn to face the stretched leg. Come over towards it, doesn't matter how far. I just want you to focus on tipping forward from the hips, not curving with the spine. So nice and long through the belly. Just reaching, softening a little, letting go of the effort. And then coming up, bring your hand behind your hip. Lift your hips off the ground, other arm sweeps high, and then rotate your body open. Maybe you can look up to the ceiling. Stay for another breath. And release down. Tipping from hips towards the long leg. And then rising one more time, hand by hip, push off. Focus on your breath. And then lower down and come right way down onto your back. Bring your knees up towards your chest. One hand on each knee. Take a moment to settle here. Let your head rest fully into the floor. Relax your neck muscles. Soften down. And bring arms out wide. Drop knees over to one side. Stay for a breath. And then we'll lift the top knee, roll across the back of the hips, and let knees come over to the other side. Come up through center. Take as long as you want here. If you want to add on, you could extend your top leg as you come across. And then we'll come through center, bending knees as you go.
and over to the other side. Let's do this one more time on each side, either with your knees bent or extending your top leg when you get there. Let's think about our breath. Breathing in as we move through center. Breathing out with the twist as the torso is twisted. Breathing in through center and bring feet to the floor. You could turn the soles of your feet together with your knees open to the sides. Or you can keep your knees bent up, same position that we started in, or stretch up long, anything that feels good to you. Now you could keep your arms at your sides, or you could bring hands to your belly and feel your breath. Just for the last couple of minutes here, not too long. And because it's such a short time, let's really try to focus our attention fully. So completely aware of your body in its position on the floor. Awareness in your breathing, where your breath moves to. Taking in your surroundings, your senses. Let's take it all in. Let it all be part of your experience. Stay as you are for a few more breaths. As it feels good, we'll start to bring in a little bit of movement. Maybe your hands first, maybe turning your head. Reaching arms overhead and extending legs. Then gathering knees to your chest, strap them in, rock a few times. And finally make your way up into a seated position. We can finish here together. We'll take one more breath to close our class together. With your in-breath, circle arms wide and stretch up high. Meet at the top. With your out-breath, slide down your center line. Thumbs to your heart space. And thank you so much for joining me today. Lovely to have you all.